Imagine a holiday where you only have to unpack once but could wake up in a different destination almost every morning. One day you could be in a historic city, the next a magical fjord, and even a tropical Caribbean island. That is the beauty of cruising. You get adventure, exploration and relaxation all wrapped up in one fantastic holiday. On this episode of Travel Smart, I'm going to show you how to get the best out of being at sea while also saving some money along the way. No two cruises are the same, and choosing the best one for you is often half the battle. There are ocean cruises. These are typically the larger ships that can feel like floating resorts at sea, with plenty of bars, restaurants and shops on board to keep you occupied. These will visit destinations around the world, often with thousands of passengers. That means plenty of sea days to enjoy the facilities. Families are catered for with kids clubs and water slides, but adults are also looked after with spas and late-night bars on board. River cruises, on the other hand, offer a different experience that's typically smaller and more immersive, with just a few hundred passengers on board. Rather than long days at sea that you get on ocean cruise ships, you may find yourself docked in a different city each day. On board, life is a little bit different. It's less manic, and there's typically only one pool deck and main dining room. Whichever cruise you choose, the rhythm will typically be the same. There'll be sea days where you can explore the best of a ship, and port days where you can get off and experience the local destination. Your cruise line may offer excursions to take you around the local area. These can be more expensive than going on your own, but the one main advantage is that they will guarantee to get you back to the ship on time. If you're by yourself, you're responsible for getting back to the ship before it leaves, and you don't want to be a pier runner. Then there are those special sailings, the bucket list trips that take you to those memorable destinations. One of my favourites is the Northern Lights cruises. This is where you head north to destinations such as Norway, the Arctic Circle and Iceland to see the magic of the Aurora Borealis, nature's light show. Rather than standing in cold rural locations, a cruise ship offers a perfect vantage point with hot chocolate and blankets on the top deck, with clear skies and no light pollution, and a cabin that you can escape to if it gets too cold. There will even be experts on board, like astronomers, that will give you insight into the magic that you're seeing above you. Another standout option is sailing through the fantastic Norwegian fjords. You'll see marvellous landscapes, towering cliffs and cascading waterfalls. There are plenty of chances to get off and find yourself immersed in local Norwegian life on daily stops, offering a scenic and memorable voyage. Wildlife spotting often goes hand in hand with these types of cruises, with chances to see orcas and whales, all adding to that sense of adventure with a cruise ship as your base. Of course, not every cruise is about chasing the cold. There are plenty of warmer itineraries that offer a different kind of magic. You could island hop across the Caribbean, visit iconic destinations in the Mediterranean, and see the sandy beaches around Greece. Then there are fly cruises. These combine the price of a flight and a cruise all in one single package. You often fly out to one destination, get on the ship, sail, and then come home, cutting out the time you have to spend at sea, meaning you have more opportunity to enjoy destinations that you want to be in. Packing for a cruise isn't as difficult as some think. Your cabin will come with toiletries, towels, and even a hairdryer, so you don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. It's worth checking for any theme nights on board, such as a white party or 70s and 80s parties, so you can pack any fancy dress that you want. There may be one or two formal nights during your sailing, so it's worth packing your tux or cocktail dress, but don't worry if you're not into dressing up too much. There's less formality on cruise ships these days, and as long as you're not in shorts and sandals, you can often eat anywhere on the ship. Even if you're travelling to warmer destinations, the ship can get cold in the evenings, so I'd recommend packing some layers for those chillier nights. Cabin choice can make a big difference to the price you pay for a cruise. Inside cabins tend to be cheapest, but you need to pay a bit more for a balcony, although you do then get the natural light and sea views. If you're worried about potentially feeling seasick, it's best to opt for cabins in the middle of a ship or on lower decks. Ships are built for smooth sailing nowadays, but can get pretty rocky as they're hit by waves at the front and back. And if you're worried about noise, try and avoid cabins directly under the pool deck and nightclub. Food is one of the main highlights of cruising, and the good news is, most of your meals are covered. You can eat a la carte in the main dining room, have your choice in the buffet, or just relax in a casual cafe. There may also be specialty restaurants on board. You usually have to pay for these, but it can be worth splashing out for if you want to immerse yourself in regional delicacies and culture. Entertainment is often a surprise for many first-time cruisers. It's no longer just about bingo and karaoke. Nowadays, you'll find breathtaking stage shows, award-winning comedians, and even expert talks from speakers linked to the destinations that you're visiting. If you've cruised before, you'll know a ship can feel like a mini city with something different happening each night. Cruises can be a pricey but worthwhile way to travel. There are some ways to cut down the costs though. One of the best hacks is to look for a repositioning cruise. These are sailings in the off-season when a ship moves from one region to another, such as from the Caribbean to the Mediterranean. These are typically longer voyages with more time at sea, which is why they're cheaper. If you're a first-time cruiser, it's a great way to get a taste of life at sea without feeling like you've overspent. And for season cruises, it's a great way to spend time on a ship at a fraction of the price. And the cruise industry also has its own sales period in the new year called wave season, where they'll offer discounts on cruise fares and cabins and onboard credit because they want to fill their ship for the year ahead. Closer to home itineraries such as British Isles sailings or Northern Europe can feel more cost effective compared with going further afield. If you've cruised before, you'll know the real cost is in the extras. While your meals are included, often drinks aren't. You may get tea, coffee and water included, but often you need to pay for soft drinks and alcohol. Most cruise lines offer drink packages, but these only usually work out if you're having several drinks a day. So only spend your money on that if it makes sense to you, otherwise it may be more cost effective to pay as you go. Wi-Fi is also at a premium on a cruise ship. Unlike in a hotel, it's not included as standard. This may be a good chance for a digital detox, but if you do need to stay connected at sea, there may be packages available. These can be quite pricey though, so the most cost-effective option could be to wait until you're in port and can get connected. Also, I know from personal experience, you can get caught out by roaming charges at sea, so make sure your phone is on airplane mode even if you're on Wi-Fi to avoid nasty bills at the end of your sailing. One of the quirks of cruising is how money works. You don't need to carry your wallet around with you, everything is charged to your cruise card. That's all your souvenirs, cocktails and anything else you buy while you're on board. All you have to do is settle your bill at the end of your sailing. On days that you're in port, you'll find you'll need your wallet again, so it's best to have some euros or dollars to spend money on snacks and souvenirs in local shops. But if you do decide to use a credit or debit card, make sure you opt for one that doesn't charge extra travel fees to avoid nasty surprises in your bill at the end of your trip. So, whether you're a first-time cruiser or experienced sailor, there are always adventures to be had at sea, whichever horizon you're sailing towards. For more information, tips and updates, visit independent.co.uk/travel. Bye for now.